So I got a few things I want to talk about with you guys. Today we're going to go over, I think we can get through 6.1, talk about 6.2, 6.2 and 6.3. Actually, all the sections from like 6.2 to 6.4 all kind of meld to me. It's like I don't think they shouldn't have tried to make each section as distinct as they did. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to go through 6.1, which is a very distinct, big, like a lesson, okay? Which is Riemann sums, which I think goes into 6.2. It bleeds into 6.2. It's just weird the way they organize it in the book. So we're going to get through that today. How do you guys feel about having a class this Friday? Not mandatory, but just because what I want to do is the next week we meet, we maybe talk about some review problems. Does anybody not have time this Friday to attend class? If I had an additional class. Okay, so you and huh? Okay, so you guys wouldn't be able to come. You wouldn't be able to come. Okay. How about? I don't know if I have another meeting on Monday, but okay. So I guess okay. How about the next Friday? Is it the same case for you guys? You guys can't attend next Friday. Okay. So I guess we're just gonna try to cram everything because I don't want to exclude anybody, you know. But would it help maybe if I taped the lesson this Friday? I send it out to you guys. Okay. So why don't we do that then? Okay. So for those of you just joining, make sure you guys grab some handouts from there. And we're discussing right now a possibility of having a class on Friday, an additional class. I just don't know. Yeah, okay, so we'll have an additional class on Friday. And I could hold it from, let's see, the time would be like from 1:50 to 3:05, sort of like that. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Raise your hands if you can make that at least, because I need some people to come to that class. From 1:50 to 3:05 this Friday, I will have a class, an additional class. Because yeah, you might be able to. Ben, would you want to come? He's complimenting you guys today. Okay, so all right, because I'm just a little bit scared. I want to go through some review material with you guys, but if not, we would just want to stay on schedule. Next week we'll just hit the last like one or two sections. It's just we're going through this thing called antiderivatives or integrals, and I feel like I want to deliver the content and still give you guys time to kind of like what is it, retain it, like really, really understand it, and like really work on it before the final, you know. But if I give it to you next week, then that only gives you like a week to really learn everything before the exam. So I guess I'll play around with it, but I think I might do something this Friday for that. So just letting you know, on my website as well, I have a whole bunch of stuff on my website for month 5. Here's the thing, Allie brought this up in tutoring, which I really like. Our cover sheet says that we have this month 5 review packet due, but there's no solutions for it. So I think that's a little bit brutal. Again, I'm just taking the materials that were taught like before me, from like previous teachers. Um, so there's no solutions manual really, or like, there's no solutions for this to check your answers. I think it's a little brutal. There's 39 questions. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this, or it's your choice, whatever you want to do. You can do this one instead. Month 4 and 5 AP review. It's for extra credit, but you can do this instead because it has the solutions to it. Okay, so you can do this homework, this assignment in place of the month 5 review packet, but the month 5 review packet is there for you to look over if you want to review for the final. Okay, so I figure not everyone here has a photographic memory, so I'm going to run the risk of showing you a little bit of the exam right now. This is the exam, so take it in. Okay, there's going to be 3 sections. Section 1 is going to be no calculators, 12 questions, 24. They're all multiple choice. 24 minutes to get through this. Okay? It had what it was the teacher that kind of like the way that this teacher organized it was they took a packet that had 28 questions and dwindled it down to 12 those questions. Okay, So they're all multiple choice, and you can kind of see that we talk about a little bit of a piecewise functions. Oh, so anytime you see this little weird sign, that should tell you that it's the new material from this month. Okay. Instant rate of change, that's derivatives. Okay. More new stuff. Limits, approaching from both sides. Again, new stuff that you're going to learn either this Friday or next Wednesday. Okay. This is stuff you're going to learn today. This is stuff, again, these are called integrals. You're not going to see until next week or this Friday. This is previous stuff, limits, approaching from both sides. You remember that? Again, velocity and what is it? This is a given function of a position. All right, these are pretty rapid fire questions. I think the only one that would take time is probably this one, the derivatives, trying to find the derivative with the trigonometric function, e. So remember your stuff for derivatives, okay? Again, new stuff and new stuff. Anytime you see this sign right here, this sign right there, that's new stuff for integrals, right? So that's section 1. Section 2 is going to have 8 questions. Now you can have a graphing calculator, okay? Again, piecewise function, you're going to have to, or not a piecewise function, but a function where you're going to have to talk about the limit, which is true. And then let's see here. Integral, that's an integral, new stuff. So a lot of this is new stuff. I'd say a little bit over half the test is new stuff, okay? Constant rate, related rates from last week. Again, more stuff for, what is it, extreme values, okay? This is a lot easier. You don't have to apply the second, first, or third derivative test, okay? This is going to be talking about, this is for population growth, so I believe this is rate of decay. Look for that chapter, rate of decay, okay? So this is I think that's a little bit brutal. I'm going to be a little bit easier and lenient on this one. We didn't go over that, but that is something that's going to come up in the EP exam, all right? Again, this is going to be for today's stuff. Related rates again. So that's from last week. Area under the curve, that's going to be for today's stuff. And then finally, we got 2 last sections. 1 problem each, 1 quote-unquote problem. It's going to be multi-part, okay? So this is definitely over the new stuff, okay? Average temperature, here and here. And then here, it's going to be, yeah, this is on new stuff as well, okay? So these last 2 problems are discussion-based problems, only 15 minutes each, okay? This is proportionate. This is supposed to be proportionate for a 1 hour, 15-minute class to what the AP, the actual AP test would give you in terms of time, how they separate, or how they, how they separate each section according to a certain amount of time. So it's proportionate to the actual AP exam. Only it's an hour and 15 minutes. Okay? So you can have a look at here, Riemann sums, acceleration. So that's what the test is going to look like. So hopefully when you get it, you're not going to freak out how it looks. You've already kind of got a glimpse of what it looks like today. Okay? Any questions on this? Okay, so that's the exam. And let's see, anything else? Any other handouts that we have in here? They're actually going to be online right here. I have some lecture videos from last year that I made for Riemann sums for notes today. Okay? So let's go ahead and get to it. The first handout you should have is this. This is sort of your warm-up. Go ahead and have a look at this. I want you to think about it carefully. Okay, so I'm going to read it out loud. Okay, consider a snowstorm that starts at 3 a.m. over the first 2 hours. The rate of the snowfall increases from 0 to 1.2 inches per hour. Okay, so that's what you see here. All right. So this the y-axis is the rate. Okay, the speed, the speed at which the snow is coming down. Okay, so on the y-axis is 1.2 inches per hour. For the next 3 hours, it continues to fall. Okay, so for the next 3 hours on this graph, for the next 3 hours, it continues to fall at that 1.2 rate. Okay, so that's why it's constant. That rate is constant at 1.2 inches per hour. And then at about 8 a.m., that's hard to see right here, at 8 a.m., it begins to taper off, meaning the rate kind of goes down. The rate at which the snow falls, okay? And it ends at 10:30. So meaning that the rate, there's no more snow. The snow is no longer coming down. Find the total amount of snow that falls during the storm. Okay? So any suggestions for how to solve this problem? Does anybody have any ideas to how to solve this problem? No, go ahead. Go ahead. You do not need to find the slope of the line because it already gives the rate is the y-axis. What do you think, Aaron? Any suggestions? Why would you say the area under the curve? How would you know that the area under the curve should give us the total amount of snow during the storm?
Well, sorry, I kind of pull this apart. Basically going to be multiplying time by inches per time.
Okay.
So that would cancel out time. And then
so if you guys look very carefully, it's very hard with these increments being in like a weird kind of time signature, but these are essentially hours. My first tip to you guys would be to change these, okay? Because on the, let's say on the AP exam or in the future, your information is going to be given like this. But we kind of want to set it into like our own parameters. These are still in hours. They didn't say that, okay? But these are in hours. And I'm going to say this is from 0. From 3 to 5 a.m., how many hours is that? That's 2 hours. So at this increment right here where it says 5 a.m., I'm going to change that to 2. That's like the second hour. How about at 7 a.m.? What should go in place of 7 a.m.? 4, yeah, because hour 4. How about at the 9, what is it, the 9, about 6, and at the final one, it's a little bit tricky, so I don't think that's very fair. This is, let's see, this is 11 right here, and this is technically 10 a.m. So we'll just stop at the 10 a.m. one right here. So wait, am I doing this right? 3 to 5, 5 to 7,